tell you, this was such a difficult video for me. First of all, hi, hello. This is Narcissa. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I make weekly videos just doing different art projects. And this week I decided to do these RadioDust inspired shoes. So I did an Alastor side. So like the left shoe was Alastor and then the right shoe is Angel Dust. And what you're seeing currently is a lot of things going wrong on the Angel Dust side. I originally was doing a acrylic pour like I did for the Alastor side, but that didn't quite work out. What I poured it on, it just got stuck to and basically was ruined. So I decided to do this, I don't even know what you would call it, this like attempting to paint this in a unique way. I truly don't know what I was doing. I was like trying to do this like sponge technique and then blend it all together to make it almost look like an acrylic pour. That didn't work. And then I moved to doing the laces because these were all white shoes. So I wanted laces to be half pink and half red. And I mean, honestly, it's fine. The laces came out fine. They're a little crunchy. I should have just gotten like a tie-dye kit and just tie-dyed the laces, but for some reason that I cannot truly fathom, I decided to hand paint them. I even used like fabric paint, but I don't think it ended up working. And then the pink and the red that I was using, the red dried down really gross, and then it was a whole big mess. So I decided to kind of scrap this, and I ended up using the red fabric paint that I had. But ultimately, I mean, the laces are kind of the least of the problems with these shoes because these shoes really worked me out, I have to say. And I love this idea. I wanted to see if I could do it. The main point was like, can I do an acrylic pour on a shoe without doing like pouring directly on them, because I didn't think that was going to work out well. And I like the overall process that I used. I think doing it this way with like pouring onto a silicone mat and then using fabric Mod Podge to like glue it down, I think worked really, really well. I think the end result does look very interesting, as you're going to see here. But oh my goodness, the process along the way had some nightmarish moments, especially for the angel side. I don't know what happened with the angel side, but it just kept getting worse and worse. And so now I'm like, I decided, oh, I'm going to do a lighter color and I'm just going to do a singular color. And that looks better, but it's still not what I wanted. And then I was like, oh, let me go ahead and put some heart applique on top. And then I looked at it and I was like, that's atrocious. So I wiped it off. You know, it's bad when I have to use a paper towel to wipe it off. I did another layer of the light pink. And again, I like this better than I liked what I had going on. But when you compare it, it's just no comparison. So this is me attempting to do my second acrylic pour for Angel. I ended up doing 3 different acrylic pours for Angel, 2 of which failed, 1 of which worked. This one, I don't entirely know why this one failed. For whatever reason, when I put it on the table to dry, it became like this whole like mess. I don't know what happened, but like it was basically useless at that point. So I had to do a third one, and finally the third one was the charm. But yeah, it was a heck of a time. I think in total I probably spent like 3 weeks working on these shoes, and you'll see. I don't know if I would necessarily consider them finished, but at this point I kind of wanted to just put out something for this because I've been working on these for 3 weeks and it was a lot. And don't get me wrong, I do love how they look. I think they ultimately came out very, very cool. My mom actually got a chance to wear them to a little get-together thing she went to, so that was cool. So I do know that they hold up. Like, she went to a dance with them, so that's really cool. I still haven't gotten to wear them yet, but they're a little bit unfinished. You're gonna see the final pictures because I just like had to do some things off camera, and then I just ran out of time and was like, oh shit, I have to actually start editing this video so I can put it up. So this is my third attempt at the Angel acrylic pour, and maybe I was using the wrong side of the silicone mat, because look at how it's like already, see in the like edges where it's like trying to come off. I don't know what the hell that was about. I mean, it ended up being okay, this one. I think I might have just used the wrong side of the acrylic mat. That's what I have to assume, because it's like doing this thing where it's like trying to come off, and I've never seen that before. So it was, yeah, this is me attempting to like, I didn't want to blow it with the blow dryer, but yeah, it was like acting really, really strange. And I thankfully it dried fine. I ended up using the back side because this front side here I did not like. All of that like light pink almost looks, I don't even know. It's just a gross, it doesn't look light pink. Like comparatively, it almost looks yellow. It's just really, really weird. And again, you can see like where it's clearly hydrophobic, I think, with the silicone mat, and you can like see it just getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so this is the final result. That was the backside. It ended up looking really, really nice. I was able somehow to get enough pieces where I was able to do both sides of the shoes. So even though it looks small in comparison to like what I did for the Alastor shoe, it ended up working. The third time was the charm for this acrylic pour. But oh my gosh, I will say I do love the end result. I think it's so, so pretty. I would love to do this again. But at the same time, I also would not love to do this again. Maybe not for a video. I feel like, I don't know, doing it for a video made it a lot more challenging because you have to make sure that everything is like visible on screen. And as you can see, that's not always something I'm very good at. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I will say, I mean, I still like it overall. Oh, and then I decided I was going to stone these shoes, which if you've never done stoning, it takes for fucking ever. I love the look of the stoning. I think it's really, really pretty. I got these gorgeous, like, slime green and then these black and purple ones to kind of give this like Alastor look. I really like them, but God, stoning takes forever. And I have to tell you, I bought gem tack. I had never used gem tack before, and I do not care for it. You need like so much strength to get gem tack to work, and it just, I don't know. I prefer what I've used before, and it's not really good for you. You have to like do it outside. I've used in the past Gorilla Glue. They have like a fabric Gorilla Glue. I feel like that is probably the better option because it comes out like E6000, and I find that to be easier to use. E6000 is fine, but the problem with that is like it doesn't give you a very precise tip. And when I have gotten like precision tips separately, they get all gunked up and like unusable. So I think that's why I ended up buying gem tack, which is basically like a very thick school glue is how it comes out. It comes out white. Like, I don't know. I do not care for gem tack. It was such a pain in the ass to even get out of the bottle. And then they kept slipping. They didn't feel like they ever like stayed still. Like one of the things I love about the Gorilla fabric glue is I do feel like those kind of stay still. This just never wanted to stay still until they fully dried. And again, that takes a long ass time. Here is the final result. I'm sorry that I didn't film this. Like I said, I'd been working on this at this point for 3 weeks, and I couldn't keep up anymore. It's not perfect. It's not what I would call maybe totally finalized. There are some things that I wish I'd been able to do for this, but this is kind of as done as they're going to get for now. Maybe I will return to these, but like I said, I really just wanted to have something up for this video. And I mean, I do in a lot of ways like how these came out. I think the laces look very interesting. Even though they didn't get fully saturated with the paint, I almost feel like the white kind of adds something interesting in there as well. I think it works. So I'm not mad about it. I wouldn't call this a fail. I would just call this like a lot of struggles to come up with a result that I do ultimately like, but it's iffy. I think there's a lot of things I would have done differently. This was my first time ever doing this. I've DIY'd shoes before, but not to this extent. This was my first time doing it this way, and I definitely feel like doing it over again, there's a lot of things I would do differently. For one thing, I would start with the shoes being black to begin with. I would make sure that the acrylic pour was perfect for both of them. I would probably not worry about the tongue situation as much because that's not going to be visible with shoes that lace up, or I'd get shoes that don't need laces. That way I can kind of focus on that. And I don't know, I probably go back to not using gem tack for the gems because I don't feel that they necessarily add anything. But yeah, so this is it. This was kind of a short video, I feel like, but I'm happy with it overall. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope you enjoy the look of this. Until next time, stay devilish and see you next Tuesday.